Hi, this is Preston Barnes, and I am wanting to show everybody what I'm looking for in my very simple iPad application, which is going to basically just be a kiosk. So what you're looking at here would be the first run. So when they actually start the application, it's actually going to take them to this settings page. Now this setting page, I'm just going to go through it real quick just so you guys can understand what we're looking for here. So basically, we'll look at the first setting here, which is set up congregations. This is just going to be a simple button, and what this button needs to do is to actually delete any cookies that are set in this application. So reset all the web cookies, and then it's going to then reopen. It's going to automatically start this URL that's set here. So when they click this set up congregations, all it's doing is just clearing out the cookies and then launching the kiosk. Alright, and then in here in the first setting, you'll see that this is where they will select a URL. By default, it should start up with server 1 as the URL, but they will be able to select server 1, server 2, or server 3. These I do want hard-coded. If anybody has a way that maybe we could dynamically create these, I would love to know about that. Ideally, that's what I would like to have. But otherwise, these can just be simply hard-coded in. And of course, they can choose which one they want. And of course, it will then click Set URL, which is just a button that will actually set this. So if they would select server 2, they would then hit set URL. When they hit the start kiosk button, it's going to take them to that URL. The timeout in seconds feature is just basically if nobody's touching the screen, I want it to then just go back to whatever this URL is. And that's pretty simple. Screensaver is going to be basically when this thing is just sitting here unused for a set amount of time. I'm thinking probably like 5 to 10 minutes of not being touched at all. It will then go to the screensaver, which will be basically another website where we will be running our basically ads and whatever else we want to show. So, and then of course as soon as they would touch the screen, that would then close the screensaver and then show this URL. The Start Kiosk button, all that is when they click that button, it's going to go to another page, which I did not show. I figured we don't need to really design that out because all it is just a full screen web page, which is taking this URL, whether it's server 1's URL, server 2's URL, or server 3's URL, and then just displaying that full page. There will be no need to have an exit button, a back, a forward, anything like that. I literally just want it to be full screen website. And the only other thing that I would like to do though is on that second screen where we start the kiosk, if they touch and hold the four corners of the screen of the iPad, I do want it to then come back to this settings page. So they'd have to touch and hold it for maybe 3 seconds, 5 seconds, something like that. But if touch is being done on all four corners, then it should take them back to the settings screen. So that's basically it. So I'll just recap it just real quick. Set up congregations that will clear any cookies and then start this kiosk. So it will then run whatever URL is selected. The URL will allow them to choose which URL they want, either 1, 2, or 3. Then when they click this button, it's going to actually set that URL where when they actually press Start Kiosk, it'll go to that URL. Timeout in seconds is basically if they're sitting there and they're navigating on the Start Kiosk, so they've already pressed this button, and nothing happens within 120 seconds. At that point, we want to then display whatever this URL is, and then that'll be that. And then, of course, the screensaver, this button should allow them to toggle it on or off. By default it should be on, and what this will do is after 5 or 10 minutes, it doesn't really matter to me, after a set period of time it will then basically overlay another website screen, which should be able to display video or anything web-based. So it should go to a hard-coded URL and display that URL. And again, just one final thing is, if someone has a way that maybe we can dynamically generate this URL or dynamically generate these URLs, that would be beneficial. Otherwise, we can hard code those URLs in, and that'll be good. So thank you very much. And of course, this Start Kiosk button will then just actually start this kiosk and take them to this URL with no back button or any way to get out, unless they would hold the 4 corners of the screen, touch that for a set period of time, at which point it will then take them back to this settings screen. Well, thank you very much and happy bidding.